What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel and a new series starting here right now. As I promised before in my channel update, we have a Road to Glory series going on here with Juke Jones, running back from Cadillac, Michigan, in NCAA Football 14. Juke Jones is modeled after a Darren Sproles, Reggie Bush type of running back. He can rush, he can catch out of the backfield, and hopefully he can rack up the yards and the touchdowns. And we're going to go ahead and start here by selecting three schools. We select Michigan, Northern Illinois, and UTSA on our board. And we will go ahead and the first episode here is just going to be highlights throughout the regular season of his high school senior season. So here you go, first game against Eastern. Juke Jones going left side. He has open field pass midfield inside the 30-yard line down to the 20. 10, touchdown for Juke Jones, a 67-yard touchdown run on his second carry of the game. Later on in the second quarter, in the Wildcat, Juke Jones is going to take this one, break a tackle, get the first down, and a touchdown on that one, a 24-yard TD run by Juke Jones. And maybe we'll see his signature juke move during this game. 2nd and 5 now here in the second quarter, and he has taken off here inside the 20 down to the 15, a 33-yard rush. And Juke Jones is racking up the running yards here. 2nd and 12 handoff here. He's going to juke inside, get the first down, get tackled after a 14-yard gain. Late third quarter now, it's 4th and 1, and we're going for it. It's a pitch to Juke, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown run there. And later in the fourth quarter, it's a handoff to Jones inside the 20. He's cutting it outside and into the end zone for another touchdown, and he will get player of the game, 305 yards. 4 touchdowns on the day for Juke Jones on 36 carries, and a very nice first game of his senior season. Week 2 is here, and we're taking on Hillsdale, and it's a handoff here late in the first quarter to Juke Jones, and he's going to steamroll that defender and gain a big amount of yardage there. Later on in the second quarter, his first play of the second quarter, and Juke Jones hurdles his way into the end zone for some reason. We don't know why, but his signature move's the juke, not the hurdle. Later on, halfway through the second quarter, it's another handoff at the goal line, and Jones is going to get into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day. He's racking up the touchdowns this season, even though we're only in week 2. Handoff here in the third quarter to Juke Jones. He's going to cut it inside, back out, and finally taken down, and that is a 34-yard gain. Later on in the fourth quarter, handoff to Juke inside, first down and more down to the 8-yard line. That would set up this second down and goal play for Jones. And it's a pitch, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown, his third touchdown on the day. And that would finish off this game against Hillsdale. 37 carries, 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the day for Juke Jones, starting off his senior season very well. Week 3 is upon us now. We're taking on Warren on the road, and it's a handoff here midway through the first quarter, and that's a 15-yard gain for Juke Jones. Cadillac up 7-0 now. Second quarter handoff to Juke. He's going to go inside, cut it out, inside the 30, spin move down to the 21-yard line. Later on, it's 1st and goal. Handoff to Juke. Cuts it inside, up the middle, into the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown. And that's his first touchdown of the day. Hopefully he'll be getting more of those. And later on, under a minute to go in the half, it's a pitch to Jones, and he's into the end zone untouched for a 1-yard touchdown. Number 2 on the day for Juke. And he's racked up almost 10 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks. We're up 14-7 now, and it's a pitch at the goal line again, and Juke is into the end zone for the 3rd time, and that gives him 10 touchdowns on the season so far. Later on in the third quarter here, it's a handoff to Juke up the middle, touchdown again, and that is number 3 or 4. That was number 3, actually. I was off by 1. 25 carries, 152 yards on the day, and Juke Jones is tearing it up through 3 weeks. Juke Jones racked up 643 rushing yards and 10 rushing TDs through the first 3 games, and he's back at it in week 4 on the road against Southgate, and he has a 15-yard gain to start out here. 1st and goal. Handoff to Jones up the middle for the touchdown, number 11 on the season, and Juke Jones continues to tear it up with 11 rushing TDs on the season. Just needs to pick it up in the receiving game. Middle second quarter now. Pitch to Jones, and he's going to get the edge here inside the 30, down to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Juke Jones as he carries defenders into the end zone with him. We move to the fourth quarter now. He has 2 TDs on the day, and he's going to hurdle his way in the end zone here in the fourth quarter for number 3. And that would be the end of this one as Cadillac goes up 30-0. And Juke Jones, 201 yards on 36 carries and 3 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 34 yards, picking it up through the receiving game there. And we move to week 5. Juke Jones here gets the pitch. He cuts it outside. He's down the field, past midfield, inside the 40. Stiff arming down to the 30, down at the 24-yard line. A nice pickup by Jones there. 4th and goal now. They trust him. He's into the end zone on the handoff. Number 1 on the day and number 14 on the season so far for Juke Jones. He ends up with only 1 touchdown on the day, but 190 yards on the ground and 88 through the air. Picking his receiving game up here on 8 catches there. Week 6 is here now, and they're on the road again against Northview. And Jones is out in the passing pattern upfield. He gets this nice catch here. Good for 23 yards through the air. Later on, Jones in the backfield. He's in the passing game again here. He's cutting downfield, and he gets this long catch here. Good for 30 yards. So a nice play there by Jones to get downfield and make the catch. 3rd and 13 now here in the third quarter, and Jones getting another reception here as he breaks some tackles. That one's good for 21 yards, but we haven't seen Jones enter the end zone yet in this game. It's a handoff to Jones on 2nd and 1, and he's going to get the edge and the corner and get into the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown run. 4th quarter we go, 2nd and 3 for Cadillac. It's a handoff to Jones. He's going to cut it back inside, back outside here. Can he make it? He stiff arms the defender to the ground, just chucks him to the ground with his hand. A nice gain, but not into the end zone. 3rd and 7 here late in the 4th quarter. Handoff to Jones. He's got the edge again and a first down. He's all the way down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal with about a minute to go in this game as Cadillac's up 17-0. Handoff to Jones. He's going to run into the end zone for a touchdown, a 9-yard TD run on the day. And Juke Jones will celebrate as he's the player of the game. He gets 2 touchdowns on the day on 241 yards rushing and 5 catches for 85 yards. So he's picking up his receiving game as we move to the last regular season game, and this is where Juke Jones really broke out. He starts off this game with a nice kickoff return past midfield. Good for a 54-yard kickoff return. We have 2nd and 1 now. Jones is in the backfield, handoff to Jones. He's going to cut it outside, stiff arm that guy right out of bounds and drag all the defenders there into the end zone for a touchdown. Game's tied at 7 actually here in the 1st quarter. Jones is out on a passing route, and he is going to get that reception past midfield, stiff arm that guy back about 5 yards. Nice gain in the air there by Juke Jones. 1st and 10, handoff to Jones. He's going to cut that one outside, get a nice block there. Going to get taken down after a 17-yard gain. Juke Jones really tearing it up so far in this last game of the regular season. He's going downfield, calling for the ball, and he's got that catch. Good for a 25-yard touchdown and his first receiving touchdown of the year. 2nd quarter now, handoff to Jones. He cuts it inside, back outside. He's down to the 10, taken down at the 8-yard line. A big gain on the ground for Jones, and here he is again, calling for the ball in the air, and a nice 9-yard TD catch, his 2nd of the game. And Juke Jones continues to tear it up here. A pitch to Jones here in the 2nd quarter into the end zone on that one, and that would be his 4th of the first half. 2 rushing, 2 receiving, and here he goes, 3rd quarter. Juke Jones on the play right to him there, a good 24-yard gain. Here we go. 1st and 10 and late in the 3rd quarter. Handoff to Jones. Nice blocking ahead of him. Cuts it outside. He's going to get it to the end zone there on a 27-yard TD run. And that's number 5 on the day. Juke Jones here late 3rd quarter again. Handoff to him. Cuts it inside, back outside, and he is gone. With that speed, he hits the end zone on a 42-yard TD run. 4th quarter, early in the 4th quarter. Handoff to Jones. Gets the corner again, and will get taken down after a 22-yard gain on that rush, giving him almost 300 rushing yards on the day. Next play is a pitch to Jones on 2nd and goal into the end zone for his 6th touchdown of the day. Handoff to Jones here late in the 4th. That's number 7, I believe, on the day. Actually, that is number 8 on the day. Number 6 rushing, 320 yards on 32 carries, 6 touchdowns on the ground, 3 receptions for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that ends Jones' senior season, his regular season of his senior season, ending with 1,595 rushing yards and 22 rushing touchdowns, two receiving touchdowns through the air, and you can see he's ranked number 11. So the next episode will feature the playoffs for the Cadillac Vikings. Catch us next time in that episode.